I hit 100 subscribers! Wait, what is that? I'm okay. Oh, look, it's my duck. Anyway, here is my duck. And we're gonna use this to make a duck cap. Quack! Welcome to an Anyone Can Code video where I'll teach you more about coding. As you already know, I'm Yuma. I've published several apps on the App Store, and today I will show you how to make this Angry Duck game, which was a request from I Love to Draw 555 asking if I could clone the famous Angry Bird game. So here's the quick thing on my iPhone, or just on an iPhone. So sling from the duck and it'll shoot, and then it'll just reset. Boom. And yeah, let's just go to simulator. Okay, so here is the Angry Duck app. So what you do, sling back and just watch it go. That's very simple, and yeah. So let's get started. Okay, so we're just gonna make another app. If you don't know how to make SpriteKit apps, you can watch my my previous video, which is about a tooth knocking app. So, oh, by the way, I lost another tooth. Anyway, well, we're gonna name this Angry Duck. Angry Duck 2 for me. Anyway, so we'll just own like so. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, I updated my Xcode 8.1, but you don't need to update it. Okay, so let's just get rid of all this default code. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen what the template looks like, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool, yeah, it's cool. Anyway, so I'll just get rid of all this setup, all of it, and we can just get rid of this spaceship and delete all these actions. There we go. Anyway, so first what I want to do is just add the images, just because I don't want to just run down here and get all these. So we're just basically getting everything ready. So and as usual, I have uploaded all these images to the GitHub, to my GitHub account. So let me just drag these in one by one. Because if you select all these and drag it in, I'm not sure if Xcode has fixed this, but I mean, it might go a bit out of control, so I'm just gonna do this. You can try if it works. If it works, then that's cool. But let's just get on with it. So here we are. The normal scene. But anyway, first we need to set it to its only landscape. And this is a info.p list. It's for like all the properties, like you can set them, like you can set these, if the status bar, like this part here, is hidden or not. So yeah, you can just do whatever you want in here. I'm just gonna go to this supported interface orientations, and in reverse like brackets iPad, but it just for me just shows I dot dot dot. And we're just gonna get rid of this portrait. We're gonna get rid of this portrait top home top home but top home button and bottom home button, and to get rid of those you just press a minus, and yeah, you can also do backspace depending on what you like. Anyway, it's a lot to okay, so this is a lot to set up, but I'm sure we'll get there. So just need to we just need to switch these around, so it's 1334 by 750 now, and yeah, so let's just now get on what we're meant to do, which is do the background and all the other stuff. So here we go, and we also need to position the Z position so it overlaps like how we want it to be like. So let's name this BG just to be. We're not gonna use it. We're not gonna use it anyway, but just because we can just make it easier. And so that's the ground. That's the background. Here is a ground, and I'll set the texture to ground. I didn't see that. Anyway, so we're gonna resize this. You can make it as big as you want. You can make it go lower. I'm just gonna put it like that. So yeah, that's basically it for the stage thing. So we also need to set this Z position to 1. So this overlaps this, which is what we're meant to do. And what are we meant to do? Okay. No, I mean I've got all this under control. And what we also need is a slingshot. Just because I mean, you know, Angry Birds, they have the slingshot. And I know this looks like a chair, but don't worry, we've got all this under control, like I said. So 2, let me place this as 1, so this overlaps that, and this overlaps these 2. It's, what can I say? It's called science. It's called science. Science. And I'm gonna set this texture to Slingshot 2, and we're gonna set the Z position to 2. You have to shift drag so it's not squashed or anything. And I have to position this perfectly, or else we can't get it right. I know, it's programming, making apps is all about perfection. If you wanna get a good app on the App Store, you gotta perfect it. Yeah, that's good enough. I mean, it doesn't look the best, but it's good enough. I mean, it's good. It's good, that's what I'm saying. And for this ground, we need, because we don't want the stuff to fall down here. We just want it to fall on this. Oh, right. Actually, let me. Yeah. So we just need to do that, and we just want it to not be dynamic. We don't want it to allow rotation, and we don't want it to be affected by gravity. Okay, so that is almost, that's halfway done. So we also need to set the duck. We need the duck, and we also we can use alpha mask, but I'm afraid it might go a bit out of control. So we're just gonna make it steady. Just have a yeah, just make it just make it just make it a rectangle, and no one will realize it, because when it stops, then it'll just reset, so no one will realize it. But so it's not a problem. So we gotta set this to 1 and not squish the duck. Wait, I'm gonna set this to 2. I'm gonna set this to 3, and I'm gonna set this to 3. I know it's just strange. Oh yeah. And by the way, you know, the duck is actually meant to be my mascot. I know it sounds so weird, but I don't know. It's just because ducks are derpy, so I guess I just like to make it derpy. And now we have these boxes, and you can do anything with these. I mean, you can make a tower of them, you can make a sculpture. Just be careful, don't make it, I mean, we don't want it to be, get rid of this, oh, there we go. Yeah, we don't want it to fall. I mean, it's meant to be a beautiful sculpture, right, guys? Yeah, so I'm just gonna make 2 little towers like this. You can do whatever you want, okay? This is your app. Well, I guess it is mine too. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that kind of thing. And for all of these, we need to set the we need to set the body type to rectangle. So there we go. Oh, we also need to set the set position. I'm not sure if you do really need to, but hey, it's just how I like it. Yeah. So that is 2, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, with ducks on 2. So yeah, here is that's basically what it is gonna be like. Let's see if it will work. So it's loading, and get rid of that. Yeah, so I'm using 7 Plus. You can use any of these. You can test it on all of them. You can do iPad. I mean, iPads are mega, and so there's like more room. But hey, it's how you like it. Just leaning back on my chair. It's very comfy, very fluffy. Yeah. But like when I do my intros and outros, I'm actually sitting on a stool. Just magic, okay? Just magic. I magic everything up. I magic this, I magic that. I magic everything up. And while this is loading, I'll take the chance and thank everyone for subscribing, because you already know I've reached 100, and I'm pretty sure I've reached 102 to be exact. But yeah, thank you. Just thank you for subscribing, and we'll see if we can get 200, and yeah, maybe I'm sure this is not gonna be. I'm sure this is gonna happen next year, but I mean, if we actually hit 1,000 subscribers, I will thank all of you people for subscribing again. Yeah, so yeah, it's almost loaded. Okay. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, here we go. I actually have a clock and it is ticking away, so yeah, I know Siri, it is 17 hours. Oh, so here we go. It's all perfect. So yeah, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it right now. So let's go with all the funky stuff. So what we only need to get from the scene is just the duck. So I'm just bar duck equals sk sprite sprite node. What happened? I was typing sk and then somehow deleted the sk. I'm not sure. And okay, so oh right, we need to add an exclamation mark. Okay, now we need to set the duck to the thing that is in the scene. So child node with name, and we're gonna oh, I haven't said a name. Anyway, I'm just gonna Downcaster as an SK sprite node because it needs an SK sprite node, not an SK node. Okay, let's first I mean, if you want, you can actually name all these, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. So slingshot, and I'm gonna name all this box. I mean, we're not gonna use all these, but I'm just gonna make it easier so it's labeled. I mean, you can do this. I mean, depends on how you want it to be like. I mean, if you want it to be easy to read, then go ahead. Name them. I mean, when you start publishing them, then you really need to make everything clear so the Apple people can see what you're doing or what you have done. Anyway, so the duck is done, and I will. Oh yes, we also need a bounding box. So first, let's set so it doesn't go out of the screen, which I doubt it will. I know. You can make it go out of the screen, but I mean, for now, I'm just gonna not make it go out of the screen. So like we have done before, we're gonna set the physics by to sk physics body and do edge loop from cg rect, and we're just gonna do frame, and the frame is a cg rect. Just so you guys know, and you guys all know this. I'm sure you should all know this. If you don't, you can look back at my previous videos, like I said. Okay, so we also need to, because as you saw before, the duck fell to the ground. We don't want it to fall yet until we until we release the duck. So duck dot. So we're gonna set the duck's physics body dot affected by gravity equals false. Now, yeah, that's all we need to do for now. So we're gonna just like the previous two videos, we're gonna use like touches began, touches moved, touches ended. No, the last video. I mean, the second video was a drawing, and we used touches. But let's not worry about all my videos and stuff. Let's get on with the touches begun. I know it sounds so silly. excuse me. Okay, so first we need to check if we need to do an if let touch equals touches dot first, because it's an optional and it can be null, but I highly doubt it. Just to be safe, just for good practice, and we are gonna use it. It's just being very, very naughty. I mean, it's just reminding us. It's kind of helping, but okay. So we are gonna use it. So we're gonna set the touch location. So equals to touch dot location in SK node. Wow, these functions, if you haven't realized, like, State 3, they really changed the functions. But I mean, I like it. There's more clarity, and then we need to, because if we need it to, we need the person or the user to actually tap on the duck. Yeah. So it will. So like, so to swing, because if you do, like, if you click here, I mean, that'll be just very weird. I mean, just like in Angry Birds, you have to pull back on the slingshot. Right, so how we're gonna do that? I'm sure so we're just gonna check if the nodes are the nodes in its, like, the nodes that have been touched. So we're gonna do touched. I'm gonna name this touched where, just because I want to. So we just do the nodes. We just need to do the similar nodes function at touch location, because that's basically where we touched. So, and we also, the nodes, so if you just do option click, yeah, so it's not optional, but we need to check if it's empty. So we need to check if exclamation mark touched where dot is empty. So that means if it is not empty. So then if that is, then because like for multiple objects, so we need to loop through it. So for I in for node in touched where, because, and we have already checked if it's not empty. So for node in touched where, so we're gonna just loop through all the nodes. We also need to downcast it. So if let touched if let sprite equals node as sk sprite node, which I know it is going to be an sk sprite node, because all of them are sprites. So, but I mean, it's for good practice, just to be safe. So we're just gonna downcast it, and we're gonna do another conditional if the sprite is equal to the duck. No, not duck. There we go. And if all of this proceeds, then we're gonna set the duck's position to the touch location. No, not what touch location. There we go. And that's should all show. Yeah, so There we go. And we work for touches moved. Oh, first because we only wanted to sling when the duck has reset or when the duck has reset or is on the slingshot. So we're gonna add a variable to called var. Actually, I'm gonna put it here. So var has gone, and we're gonna set that as default false because when it starts, then it hasn't slung that. So we're gonna if has gone equals false, so you can do has gone equals false. But you can also do or you can just do exclamation mark has gone, just like the touched where that is empty. It's actually I don't think I've actually explained to that or have I? I don't know. But you know, you're familiar with it, so I've just cut it and pasted it inside the if statement. So we're gonna do the same thing here. So if has gone, and they're basically the same. They're basically the same. So I'm gonna copy and paste it just because I'm lazy. You can do whatever you want. If you're experienced, then you can copy and paste. But if you're not, I mean, if you know all this, then you can copy and paste. If you don't know all this, then it's good practice to type all this up. Okay. And so yeah, that's basically it for now. So I mean, no, it's not it. So we want to do touches ended because yeah. So we're gonna do if has gone again, and we're gonna do the same, but it's a little different. So I'm gonna do if let touch equals touches dot first. So then we'll get, as just like this, we're gonna get the touch location equals touch dot location in self because we're doing in ourselves. So we're also gonna do touch square again. So, actually, I could just copy and paste it. Depends on if you're familiar with it or not. Like I said again, so it's always better to not copy and paste. I mean, but if it's very repetitive, you can. But it's good practice to keep doing it so you're familiar with it. So that is what we have to do is check the difference between the x of the original duck position and the y difference. So we're just comparing the differences between like where we've dragged and where the original duck position was. So we also need to do another variable called original duck position, which will be a CG point. And if you really want to do this, you can go to game scene and just hard code it. But I'm just gonna be smart and set it right here. So what we're gonna do is just set this original duck position to duck position. So yeah, that's basically so that's basically it for the original duck position, and we are gonna create constants for the the duck. I mean for the for like where the duck is gonna go. So let dx equals to original duck position minus touch location dot dot x, and we're gonna do the same for direction y. So yeah, very good. And oh yeah, I haven't explained. So once we've got all this, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna like set a force on the duck so it will go swinging off. So it's called an impulse. So we're just gonna like push it. It's like pushing, but pushing with code. So yeah. So if you're a physicist, you know all this. So we're gonna set the impulse to a what is wrong? Original position. Oh gosh, we need to do dot x and then dot y, because I mean this is a CG point, and you know all this. So we're gonna set the impulse to a CG vector, just like the gravity, just like what we've done with like the gravity. Yeah, so CG vector with the x and the y. And if you want, you can actually make it harder and divide it. So it's like the gravity is like there's more friction in the air. And if you don't know, friction is like the thing that is a force that slows things down because it's like rubbing on something. Okay, so let's not get too sciencey about this, but let's get on with it. So what we're gonna do is like let everything go. So we're gonna make the duck affected by gravity now, and we're also going to set the impulse. So we're gonna add in apply an impulse. So apply impulse, and the impulse is the impulse which we have made here. And once we've done that, we also need to set has gone equal to true. So I'm sure this is what we need to do, because that's what we need to do. It's loading. Like I said, it's loading. And okay. Okay, it's here. I've set the affected by gravity to false. Let me try again. Let me see if it's actually happening. Okay, it is happening. Okay, that is actually strange, because last time, oh, okay, so, what is actually happening is this scene, when this scene appears, for default, this duck is actually affected by gravity, so it starts falling. But when it shuts off, it's not affected by gravity anymore. But it's like in space. Like if you've if you're in a rocket, you go into space and you shut it off, you'll still keep going because, well, there's no friction. So with no gravity means no friction, which means that this duck can actually fall. So so if you want, you can just get rid of this. I mean, I am gonna get rid of this, and we're gonna set affected by gravity to false. And this is actually, and this is pretty simple. I mean, we're not gonna make the boxes disappear when it hits them. So, what? Okay, that is again very weird. Okay, so touches began, so has gone equals false, and this is actually pretty strange because it's like defying everything. Okay, let me check if this is actually being run. I am sure that I assure you that this hasn't happened when I have this never really happened. Okay, this is just really weird. Okay, I am tapping on this. Let me, if I tap on, okay, has gone is false, and if so, it's basically inverting it. So that means this is true. Here, okay. Let me run this again. Okay, so I was looking at all the files, and look here. So here is the game view controller. I haven't told you what it does yet. So when the app starts, it actually goes to actually goes to main.storyboard first, and this is the main.storyboard. It's blank, it's black because, well, it's not going to be used. So, and what this game view controller here is meant to redirect the app so it actually shows a game scene, and it's getting the scene which is going to open up, like which it's gonna present. So, and it's getting just a generic SK scene, or like normal SK scene type, with an initializer named file named with the game scene. So file named is basically the scene here, the SKS file. So, and so that means it's not at the this game scene. I mean, this SK scene. It's not actually running the code from this game scene. So what we're meant to do is change this to game scene. So it's creating an initializer from the game scene, and it's gonna run the code. So here we go. This is the code, and we'll just run it and see if it will work. So it's gonna yeah, no, this is, I did I resized the phone, and if you forgot, or I mean if you didn't know, because maybe I didn't tell you, I don't know. Keep forgetting why I've told you and why I've not told you. Anyway, so you can do commands. You can do command 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1 is the biggest, 5 is the smallest. Or you can do window scale, and I've done 50% here. So here we go, and look, here we go, and it'll launch. Oh right, you know how we applied the impulse here? It's actually making it, it's actually not gonna make it sling, it's actually gonna make it go boom. So what we're meant to do is put these in brackets, and if you don't know what they are, it's called BudMass. So brackets, B for brackets, so it'll run this. I'm not exactly 100% sure if it actually uses BudMass, but I just like to use it because actually no. Okay, forget about the BudMass thing. If you don't use brackets, okay, well it'll do is it'll it'll make this a negative, and then it'll subtract it by this. Same with this. So if you add the brackets, it'll subtract this by this, and none of them are negative unless you put them on negative. And yeah, so and then you invert them, so it will go boom instead of boom, which is just like what we saw there. And if this doesn't work, that means I got the math calculation wrong here. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, I got the math calculation wrong. Okay, so it's meant to be touch location dot x minus original dot position. I know math. Okay, I mean, I know maths. It's just it's just uh, it's just somehow I kind of get confused a bit because my brain is full of this programming stuff, which is okay for me because I can always fix it because I know how it works. I mean, mostly math is about problem solving, and if one way doesn't work, you switch around and then it'll work. But we'll see about this. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's okay, let me print the impulse. It's I actually know what I'm pretty sure I know what's happened. I got all the math wrong, so we'll see if this even works. Because it is being cold because the gravity is being released. So it's meant to go like this. Okay, it is meant to go like that. That is strange. Okay, so again, I looked around, and the solution I found was that, it's actually about science. It's actually the science. Before it was too heavy, like 3.39. You're meant to actually make it lighter. So I'm just tinkering around with the mass to see which is the best. Because if it's too light, it'll go so crazy. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Good enough. Yeah, game scene. Okay, so let's get on with the thing. Okay, so it's launched. It's launched. What we want to do is just add a little bit of something a little cool. It's pretty cool. I mean if we just want it to be we just want it to be dynamic. So we want it to turn so it turns like clockwise, or yeah, clockwise. So it's like woo. So just like how like maybe a paper plane would. So so just like this apply impulse, we're gonna apply an angular impulse. Now the angular impulse is a CG float because if you use CG vector, I mean, if you thought about it, you use CG vector. I mean, um, let me say this. Angles aren't really aren't two-dimensional. They're more like one-dimensional. It's more like a one-dimensional thing. But if it's like three-dimensional, it'll be more of like a two-dimensional thing. So, it's the CG float. So if you put a positive number, then it'll go anti-clockwise or counterclockwise for those Americans. So we want it to be a negative. So we do negative 0.01. Now, you guys might be thinking, out of a 365 degrees, why would you do 0.01? Because in degrees that'll be such a small number. But programming, they don't use degrees, they use something called radians. Now, radians is a bigger amount of degrees, and I'm pretty sure 8 of those equals 365 degrees or one full circle. Yeah, so we have to decrease it by a bit. So 0.01 is the best number I got. Because if you do 1, it will go woo, poo, la, la, zoom, bow, boom. Yeah, go back crazy. Yeah, so let's check it out. Yeah, it's turning. Okay, so the last thing you want to do is we want to reset it, and we can get rid of this print impulse. Oh yeah, by the way, before when I was working out about like how this wasn't getting run, you can actually now you don't need to um just you don't need to uncheck this. You can I mean you don't need to leave it like this. I mean you can just check it if you want to, or you can uncheck it, and you can get rid of the thing or you can leave it, or you can check it and just get rid of the affected by gravity, or you can just do both. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. Yeah. So how to do the reset thing. Now you might be wondering how I mean some of you might be thinking you need to keep checking if it's not moving anymore. So that's what I've come up with. So so um so I mean to keep checking, no, it's not what I've come up with. It's actually a function that the SK has put in for us, and it's called update with current time interval. We won't be using current time interval. It's just current time tells you like how long you've been playing by like seconds. Now 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 we need to so every time like it's so every time it's like updating, we want to check if 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 the velocity is just 0, 0, if it's like if the velocity is stopped and the angular velocity is stopped too, and we also and you can also check if it has gone is true, but let's just keep it things. I mean, it doesn't. It'll still work if has gone is is I mean is not true um cause I mean science rules. No, I mean programming rules. Yeah, programming rules. Oh, yeah. No, okay. Let's not sing. Let's get on with it. Okay. So so if you want, you can do if duck dot physics body dot velocity dot dx is less than or equal to 0. But I'm just gonna keep it simple, and I'm just gonna not clog it up too much and just do that duck velocity and equals to duck dot physics body dot velocity. And if you want, you can do angular velocity if you want. So I'll just do AGE. Oh, duck duck and duck inch velocity. No, it's not. It's not like an abbreviation. I mean, it's just something I made up. So yeah, duck angle velocity equals duck dot physics body dot angular velocity. Now we want to check if they're less than or equal to 0. So yeah, so we want to check if duck dot duck velocity dot dx is less than or equal to 0, and duck velocity dot dy is less than or equal to 0, and no and the duck angle velocity is less than or equal to 0. Now we want these, so it's checking if it's completely stopped, and you know what is smart? What smart is that it'll that what am I saying? That if you're stinging it towards to the left, it's actually the velocity is actually less than 0. So that means it'll and the angular velocity will be less than 0. Actually, this I mean, it will always be less than 0. So I actually never thought about that. Oh no, but anyway, let's just get on with it. It'll always be less than or equal to 0. I mean, yeah. So I mean, it wouldn't be much point if we put that in. So I mean, we can say bye bye to this, but if you want, you can keep it there. It's saying that it can be an optional, and it might be no. I actually, yeah. I mean, you can put the question mark there. Oh, I haven't told you about this. It's called, it's called optional binding. So if it's like something like this, so it's checking the duck. The duck is gonna be, it's not gonna be nil, and physics body question mark, and if this is nil, it won't like access the velocity, and therefore this will be nil. And if that's nil, then that means this whole thing will crash, and it'll get a little complicated. So no, if the duck stopped, then if the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, so duck velocity will be so all if it's all stopped, okay. If it's all stopped, has gone as you know, I mean, we'll put that at the end, has gone equals false, because it wouldn't have gone, because we reset it. So let's start off with first things first. We need to we need to reset the duck's velocity and angular velocity, because if it's like, I mean, if it's like still like, I mean, if it's right, okay, the velocity will be 0, but the angular velocity will still, I mean, might be still turning, because you know, the angular velocity will be always less than or equal to 0. But I mean, we can reset the velocity if you like to. So so we'll just do duck dot physics body dot velocity equals CG vector. Dx will be 0, dy will be 0, because we wanted to stop, and I'm sure we'll already have. Oh, right. We actually need to reset the velocity, because if it's slung back and it's reset because it's just been 0, then it'll be like this. It'll just be moving like that. Yeah. So we actually do need to reset the velocity. And you know why we're not doing the duck velocity? If that's the CG, that's only a CG vector. That won't actually change the duck. It's only getting it and putting it here, but it's like a copy, so it's not actually gonna affect the duck, the initial duck. And when we compare the duck, because like if the spy is duck, duck is only a copy of the duck here, but it has the exact same properties. And when this gets spit out, it'll be spit out like this. And if they're both the same, then they have the exact same properties. I know it sounds it sounds so confusing, but we will all get there one day. I mean, or if you already got this, well, good job. You're catching on to everything. Okay, so once you reset everything to 0, we can now reset the duck's position to the original duck position. So the original duck position. And I'm pretty sure that's all you need to do. I'm sure this might be less than an hour if it's more than an hour. God. Oop. Are you okay? Okay, that is actually pretty weird. Oh, it must be getting reset. Okay, excuse me guys. We have this problem here. So we'll be okay, we won't stop it here. Okay, let's actually check the angular velocity too. So remember how you can check on multiple things, comma, let duck angle the velocity equals duck dot physics body dot velocity angular velocity, and we're gonna check on duck angle velocity is less than or equal to 0. Okay. Let us see if it works. Okay. Hmm. I actually forgot to do something. Disable it so the duck we don't want the duck to be affected by gravity anymore, so we're gonna set it to false. Here we go. And oh right. You know the reason why I was going like so weird? That the problem was actually because it's actually still it's like resetting every time. Okay, it really is resetting every time. Okay, what we need to do is we also need to check if is gone is true. And we don't need wait, isn't it is gone? Oh, has gone. Okay. So yeah, so we actually need it. Cause when I did it before, I actually what just happened? Okay. There we go. Oh my god. Okay. We also need to reset the angle. Oh, Z rotation. Strange how they have all these funky names. Okay, so once you set the Z rotation to 0, I'm sure this will be done. Okay. I think it must be something I have done. Oh. Affected by gravity is checked and I didn't put it there. Oh, right. Before I was telling you that you could delete it, and I actually deleted it. So I'll just uncheck this. Sorry if this is like taking so long. But I mean, you can always stop in the middle of it and you can do your own stuff. Yay! Look at this. We did it. So we finally did it. And thank you oh, I forgot the name of whoever commented. Okay, sorry if I forgot your name, but thank you whoever suggested me on this Angry Duck or Angry Birds game. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, and I mean this is the end, and see you in the outro. That's it. For more, visit my website www.madebyuma.com, and also I've uploaded the finished files to my GitHub account, and the link is in the description. Anyways, please hit the subscribe and like button, and goodbye. God, this is like the, I don't know, 5th time you've done this. Okay, I'll just play some more Angry Duck. So, see ya! Yay, Angry Duck!